So, I popped into High House Insurance to see if they could quote for my house insurance rather than using the internet. High House got a great deal. So to celebrate, I bought a posh hairdo. It made me look beautiful, gorgeous enough to become a highly paid model. I then won Celebrity Big Brother. I had an affair with an MP. Now I'm promoting a doll of me that says, "Cool blimey, you're well fit."
Happy things happen when you talk face-to-face with High House Insurance. See if we can beat your home insurance quote from the internet. Find us on the High Street, Selsey, or call 606 552.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to Manhood Internet Radio. I'm Tony Wiener, your host for this show. Well, we're halfway through a very wet and cold January, but how many of you are still using 2016 instead of 2017? Well, moving swiftly on, what do we have for you this week? Our Alison will tell us all about what is on in the area, and that will be followed by the answers to last week's quiz. We then go over to Kevin, who will pose another tricky tester for you. After that, we go to Keith's Kitchen to see what is on the recipe this week. Okay then, so here we go, and it's over to Alison to find out what is happening on the peninsula.
Hello there, and welcome once again to our weekly look at what's on round and about Selsey and the rest of the peninsula. So let's start off with Selsey. On Wednesday the 18th of January, it will be time for the Crafty Natter Club. They meet between 2 and 4 in the afternoon at the Methodist Church. If you want to know what Crafty Natter involves, then you need to speak to Lisa. Her number is 601 032. Later in the afternoon, weather permitting, it's time for the Model Boat Club. Now they meet between 4 and 6 at East Beach Pond. And then 2 items for the evening. The Folk and Music Club, Selsey Folk and Music Club, will be meeting at the Selsey Club on Cox's Road. You can play, you can sing, or you can just listen, whichever you'd prefer. The cost for that is £3, and it's Julian who's running that. His number is 07721 532 711. I'll repeat that because it's rather long. 07721 532 711. That's Julian with the Selsey Folk and Music Club. If folk music isn't your thing, but more community choir music, then at the same time, between 7 and 8:30, the Selsey Community Choir will be rehearsing at the Methodist Hall on the High Street. Then on Thursday the 19th of January, we start off in the morning with mobile soft play for the under-5s. That meets between 10 and 11:30 at the Selsey Centre as usual. And again, as usual, Sue or Tom for information. Their number is 604 642. In the evening on Thursday, the Youth Club will meet. That's the Lighthouse Youth Club for school years 5 to 8. That's held at East Beach Evangelical Church in Maresfield Place, opposite the shops on East Beach. If you're interested in that, Alistair Ginn is your man. 07780 875 837. I'll repeat Alistair's number, 07780 875 837. In the evening for the ladies, it's LINK, which stands for Ladies in Contact. They meet at St Peter's Church Hall between 7:15 and 9 o'clock. Mary Grantham can be contacted on 604 718 or Beryl Fletcher on 603 750. That's for information about Ladies in Contact. Also in the evening on Thursday, Adult Kickboxing will meet at the Selsey Centre between 8 and 9 o'clock. Now on Friday the 20th of January, Darby and Joan will have their weekly meeting between 2 and 4 at St Peter's Church Hall. Jill Evendon is responsible for that. Her number 604 187. At the same time, mindful music making will be happening at the shop on the High Street. If you're interested in doing that between 2 o'clock and 3:30 in the afternoon, Anna should be contacted. Her number is 07912 609 437. That's Anna with Mindful Music Making on 07912 609 437. And in the early evening on Friday the 20th, Bright Sparks will take place. That's for school years 1 to 4. Again at East Beach Evangelical Church opposite the shops. That's for games, craft and Bible stories. If you're interested, ring 607741 or 605 236 for Bright Sparks. Now on Saturday the 21st, as usual, it's the Venture Plus garage sale between 9 and 12, and also Selsey Scouts have their charity sale between 10 and 12. In addition to that, we've got bird watching for beginners between 10 and 1. That will take place at the RSPB Visitor Centre. Now there are 5 monthly classes including workshops, £10 per person or £8 for an RSPB member, or for the whole course £40 or £32 at the reduced fee. Booking is essential for this bird watching for beginners, so you need to ring 641 508. That takes place at the Pagham Harbour and Medmurray Visitor Centre for the RSPB. On Tuesday the 24th of January, again mobile soft play. That's between 10 and 11:30 at the Selsey Centre. As usual, Sue or Tom are the people to speak to, 604 642. That's for the under 5s. Then kickboxing will take place again at the Selsey Centre for children aged 4 to 6 between 4:30 and 5, and then slightly older over the age of 6 between 5 and 5:30. In the morning on Tuesday the 24th, it's time for the carers' coffee morning at 10:30 in the morning, 109 High Street. Also that day, VIPs will meet between 2 and 4 at Hanover Close Lounge. So that's Tuesday the 24th of January. That's our roundup of Selsey. Let's move across the peninsula now to have a look at the Witterings and Bracklesham. Wednesday the 18th of January, there's Heart Space Laughter Yoga at Bracklesham Barn between 1:30 and 3:30. And it's time for the coffee morning at Russell's Garden Centre between 10 and 11:30 on Wednesday in aid of St Wilfrid's Hospice. On Friday the 20th, the Witterings Quilters Quilting Bee will meet at St Peter's Roman Catholic Church Hall between 10:30 and 4:30. On Tuesday the 24th of January, time for meet and greet at West Wittering Memorial Hall, where there are games, coffee, homemade soup and a roll. That starts at 10:15 and finishes at 1. Later in the afternoon at the barn, Strength and Balance between 2:30 and 3:30. Then Up for Dance for Boys, Junior Dance Group at Bracklesham Barn between 3:30 and 4:30. And Up for Dance Mishmash for all juniors at the barn between 4:30 and 5:30. On Wednesday the 25th, it's time for the Ukulele Jam. All uke players will be welcome at the barn between 7 and 10. So while you're thinking of doing these activities, let's have a look at the weather forecast to see whether or not it's worth going out. On Wednesday the 18th, we can expect a high of 7 degrees Celsius, or that's 45 degrees Fahrenheit, with light cloud, an 8-mile-an-hour east-northeasterly wind. The temperatures this week will be quite steady, I think. Thursday the 19th, 7 degrees again, 45 degrees Fahrenheit, again light cloud, wind speed slightly higher, 10 miles an hour, but again an east-northeasterly. On Friday the 20th, slightly lower temperatures, 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny with an east-northeasterly, 10 miles an hour. Saturday the 21st, 4 degrees Celsius, 39 degrees Fahrenheit, but thick cloud, 9-mile-an-hour wind, east-northeasterly. And then Sunday the 22nd, 4 degrees again, 39 degrees Fahrenheit, light cloud this time, slightly higher wind speed, 10 miles an hour. As the whole of the week, though, that wind is an east-northeasterly, so that will be feeling cold. Tide times in the week for those people that want to head down to the beach. Wednesday the 18th, we can expect a low at 9 in the morning and a high tide at 3:25 in the afternoon. Now that, of course, changes throughout the week, ending on Tuesday the 24th with a high tide at 8:30 in the morning and a low tide at 2:20 in the afternoon. Well, that's just about it this week, so have fun with the traffic once again, and hope you enjoy some of those activities. Bye for now.
Thank you, Alison. If you fancy any of the events, do try and get along. It's always difficult to go to something new, but Selsey and the surrounding villages are incredibly friendly and very supportive, and you will be welcomed with open arms. So do give them a try. Now, for something that is really hard, here is Keith with answers to last week's quiz.
And there we go with the answers to last week's quiz. And Kevin asked us, which 19th century British soldier and politician was nicknamed the Iron Duke? That was the Duke of Wellington. Which Australian soprano was born Helen Mitchell in 1861? And that was Dame Nellie Melba. Which 19th century general and politician played a large part in the unification of Italy? That was Garibaldi. Which early 20th century English king had an affair with actress Lily Langtry? That was Edward VII. And which Italian composer wrote the William Tell Overture? And that was, of course, Rossini. And the connection? Food. Yes, like Wellington, beef Wellington, Dame Nellie Melba, peach Melba, Garibaldi, a biscuit, King Edward, the potato, and Rossini, as in Tornados Rossini. And that's the answers to last week's quiz.
Thanks, Keith. Now, before you put your pens down, here is another challenge from Kevin.
Well, hiya, Kevin here with your regular weekly dose of quiz questions. 5 questions, general knowledge, but what connects all the 5 answers? And question number 1, TV question, American TV. Which actor played the role of Jack Bauer in the TV series 24? Who is he? Question number 2. Before Lewis Hamilton, who was the last British driver to be World Formula One champion? Before Lewis Hamilton. Question number 3. Famous person, but who did Louise Nerding marry on the 29th of June 1998? He's got a famous husband. Who is he? Question number 4. Which Austrian composed the Blue Danube Waltz and the operetta Die Fledermaus? He was known as the Waltz King. Who was he? And question number 5. 21st century pop music. Which singer was at number 1 for 4 weeks in 2002 with the song Hero? Name the singer. So good luck with that. What connects all the answers?
Good luck. And now I think we need some comfort food, so it's over to Keith in his kitchen.
Right, welcome to the kitchen once again. This week we've got a couple of very tasty recipes for you. One is lamb and one is pork. And the first one is Mediterranean lamb with apricots and pistachio nuts. All sounds a bit grand, doesn't it? It's a lovely tasty dish. And this is what we need. And this will serve 4. And we need a pinch of saffron threads, 2 tablespoonsful of almost boiling water, 450 grams of lean boneless lamb, such as leg steaks, 1.5 tablespoonfuls of plain flour, 1 teaspoonful of ground coriander, half a teaspoonful of ground cumin, half a teaspoonful of ground allspice, 1 tablespoonful of olive oil, 1 onion chopped, 2 to 3 garlic cloves chopped, 450 ml of lamb or chicken stock, 1 cinnamon stick bruised, 85 grams of dried apricots roughly chopped, 175 grams of courgettes sliced, 115 grams of cherry tomatoes, 1 tablespoonful of chopped fresh coriander, some salt and pepper, and 2 tablespoonsful of roughly chopped pistachio nuts to garnish with. And we need freshly cooked couscous to serve. And this is what we do. Put the saffron threads in a heat-proof jug with the water and leave for at least 10 minutes to infuse. Trim off any fat or gristle from the lamb and cut into 2.5 centimetre square chunks. Mix the flour and spices together, then toss the lamb in the spiced flour until well coated and reserve any remaining spiced flour. So keep that to one side, anything that's left over. Now heat the oil in a large heavy base saucepan and cook the onion and garlic, stirring frequently for 5 minutes or until softened. Add the lamb and cook over a high heat, stirring frequently for about 3 minutes or until it's nice and browned on all sides and sealed. Sprinkle in the reserved spiced flour and cook, stirring constantly for 2 minutes, and then remove it from the heat. Now gradually stir in the stock and the saffron with its soaking liquid, and then return to the heat and bring back to the boil, stirring it while you're doing it. Add the cinnamon stick and the apricots, and reduce the heat and cover and simmer, stirring occasionally for 1 hour. Add the courgettes and tomatoes and cook for a further 15 minutes. Discard the cinnamon stick, because we don't want you choking on it. Stir in the fresh coriander and season to taste with salt and pepper. And then sprinkle with the pistachio nuts and serve with the couscous. That's a real tasty dish. Very, very nice. And our second recipe for today is pork chilli soup. And this will serve for, this is what we need: 2 teaspoonsful of olive oil, 500 grams of lean minced pork, 1 onion finely chopped, 1 celery stick finely chopped, 1 red or green pepper cored, deseeded and finely chopped, 2 to 3 garlic cloves finely chopped, 400 grams of canned chopped tomatoes, 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, 450 ml of chicken or meat stock, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground coriander, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/4 of a teaspoonful of dried oregano, 1 teaspoonful of mild chili powder, or more or less depending on what your taste is for that, some salt and pepper, some chopped fresh coriander leaves to garnish, and some sour cream to serve. And this is what we do. Heat the oil in a large saucepan over a medium to high heat. Add the pork, season to taste with the salt and pepper, and cook until it's no longer pink, and stir it frequently so it's nice and cooked, all of it. And reduce the heat to medium and add the onion, celery, red pepper and the garlic, and then cover it and continue cooking for 5 minutes, stirring occasionally until the onion is softened. Add the tomatoes and the tomato puree and the stock. Add the ground coriander, the cumin, the oregano and the chili powder, and stir the ingredients in and combine it well, so make sure you get it all stirred up and mixed up nicely. And bring just to the boil and reduce the heat to low, and then cover and simmer it for 30-40 minutes until all the vegetables are very tender, and then just taste it to see how you're doing with your chili powder. I don't want it to take the skin off your tongue, and adjust the seasoning as necessary. And then ladle the chili into warmed bowls and sprinkle with chopped coriander. And either you can pass the sour cream round separately, or you could put a spoonful on top for each serving. And that's it. Nice easy dish to do. Very, very tasty. Pork chilli soup, ideal for the winter weather we're having at the moment. And that's it from the kitchen for this week. Hopefully we'll be back next week with some more recipes for you. Until then, bye for now.
Thank you, Keith. Great recipes. And with that, we've come to the end of the show. So it just remains for me to thank all our contributors, including Local Life magazine, our sound editor, John Mallett, our presenters, Alison, Kevin and Keith, not forgetting, of course, our producer, John Fletcher. So it's goodbye from me, Tony Weiner. Until next time, bye.